Well, we all have to start somewhere, and today I'm pulling off two of my project cards. I think I can get both of them done pretty quickly because they both use my Silhouette Cameo. So today I'm going to be glass etching my coffee jar and then doing a vinyl decal for my recycle bin. So first we'll start with the coffee jar. I make cold brewed coffee in this jar that lasts me about a week. And I have to fill the jar to a certain level every time I make it. And I had been using a wine marker on it that gets washed away. The only thing I really need to put on here is a line, but I thought it would be neat to put a little logo on here that I designed. First, I'll show you all of the things that I'm going to use, and then we'll get started cutting out the vinyl. Okay, these are all the supplies I'm going to use. Safety glasses, plastic gloves, sticks for applying the cream, Armor Etch glass etching cream, isopropyl alcohol, transfer tape, vinyl in a color that I'm probably not going to use very often. I have some extra painter's tape just in case. And this is the glass jar I'm going to be etching. It looks a little dirty right now, but I'll clean that off with the alcohol. So this is actually the first time I've used the roller on my Silhouette Cameo. I had an older version of the Silhouette that didn't come with this attachment, so I hadn't actually used it. Here I'm just adjusting the rollers to make sure they fit the vinyl that I have. Okay, so I have my design that I made. Now I'll cut it out. Oh, it's in there. Okay. I only realized after I pulled it out that there's actually a vinyl cutter on the back. um, but you will see me use the scissors because I didn't actually know that there was a cutter in the back. Since I already had the machine out, I went ahead and cut my other sticker. And now for some sweet, sweet weeding time. These are the tools that I'll be using. Oh, that's satisfying. And now for some time-lapse action. Oh no. What did I do? I don't know if I got a dot there. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I decided to take some scrap vinyl and put it over the hole so that it wouldn't make a mark when I did the acid etching. Just in case. The letters started getting pretty small, so I ended up getting out some tweezers to help. There we go. So there's the original design. And there it is cut out. All right. Now for the fill line. The easy weeding one. Oh, I just did the wrong one. Beep. God, beep. I don't think there's any repairing that. Beep. This is what I meant to actually do, and definitely got it backwards and ruined that sticker. Oh, well, that was a setback. I thought it would be done, and thought it was going to be easy, and put holes into the wrong part of the vinyl. So I'm going to get that back out and do it again. It's fine. Not a big deal. It's getting late. After that, I needed some kitty motivation, so I put the kitty Dexter onto my desk. This time, for real, I will get the right one. Okay, this one is nearly done now. Have to put it onto the recycle bin. I used the printed version to get an idea of where I wanted to place the vinyl, but ended up mostly ignoring that. I cleaned the surface with rubbing alcohol, and then this happened. Oh no. To try to make it so that the etching cream didn't get under the wrinkles, I removed the excess on the top and adjusted it as best I could. I ended up ripping the vinyl by accident, but it kind of worked out anyway because I was able to make it align better around the curved part of the jar. I definitely had to futz with it quite a bit to get it to look just right. I did have that wrinkle at the top and tried to at least make the edges stuck down so the cream wouldn't get under it. Now that that side was done, it was time to figure out the level of water that I needed. To be honest, I actually got that wrong, but that's okay. Now we're ready to take it to the sink and put the etching cream on. I definitely globbed on a bunch of the etching cream onto this jar. I wasn't really worried about how much I was using or if I was wasting anything because it's been sitting in my craft room for so long, and it's not really likely that I'm going to do an etch project again anytime soon. And if I do want to do another project again, a small bottle like this is only around $15, so if I want to get more, it's not a very big investment. A tip that my high school art teacher shared, and I've seen other people do in other videos, is scrape the cream back into the jar to get the most out of what you do have. Okay, I don't know if you can tell, but it does look pretty frosted, even before taking the sticker off. All right, it's the moment of truth. Kind of referring to this as the peel and reveal. Wow. Look at that. That turned out better than I thought it would be. A little bit of adhesive left on the jar. Overall, that's pretty cool. All right, the fill line. Here it is. A little bit of cleanup. Well, not quite dry. I feel like it looks better in person than it does in camera. We got the fill line on the back. Oh yeah, there you go. So this is where our trash is in the kitchen, and then just outside of the kitchen is our old trash can that is now our recycle bin. I tried to put this recycle magnet on here to help make people aware that it's the recycle bin, but it has not helped. Probably the proper thing to do should have been to measure it, but I ended up eyeballing it instead, and it ended up in pretty close to center anyway. I'm not going to measure it, and it's fine. It does what it needs to do. Ta-da! I did it! So here's the jar. It looks better than I thought it would. I'm pretty excited. It may not be perfect, but neither am I, so that's okay. I was pretty nervous about how it would turn out when the vinyl wasn't in a circle, but it's barely noticeable. Can't even, like, there may be a little bit of extra thickness around one part of the line, but it's not that noticeable at all. So yeah, now I have a coffee jar, and then I also did the vinyl sticker. So now I can call these 2 cards done. The recycle bin vinyl sticker is done. I can't believe that I started doing the wrong one. It, you know, luckily I still had some vinyl, so I just did it again. Glass etched the jar. I really like how that turned out. A couple of things that I've learned. I did take a jar that I was going to recycle and made sure that the etch cream still actually worked. I was a bit afraid because I wasn't sure if it was more than 10 years old for that jar, the etch cream. So I did a couple tests just to make sure that it still worked, and I'll just recycle this later. Project that I thought I was going to do is glass etching some wine glasses, and I have these rub and etch stencils, and I tried them on. You might see a little bit of the blue stuff on there. I tried some as a test on this glass, and I hated it. I hated it a lot. So I looked up how much these are online. They're not really that expensive. I never bought the wine glasses. So I actually think that I'm going to take this off of my list. I'm not going to make it, and I'm not going to feel guilty about throwing these away. I don't know if they're just like old or what, but they were not sticking to the glass. I imagine it's just that they're old. So if you don't have a cutting machine, this may be an option for you, but since I do, I am not going to worry about it. I'm glad that I did buy a really small container of the etch cream because it might have been sitting for even longer. The original intent for that etching cream was to do wine glasses. At this point where I am with this project, I'm totally happy with cutting my losses. I think that I'm not going to beat myself up about this. The etch cream is not that expensive. These stencils that I bought are not really that expensive. So I'm going to call 3 of these done, which is good because I realized when I was looking back at footage that I was missing a project off of my board. I had gone through some jewelry making supplies and forgot to actually write it down when I was going through my things. So I'm actually going to replace the glass etching wine glasses with a different project. So I'm going to add to the list finishing the jewelry beading kit that I never finished and forgot to put on the board. So take one down, put back another one, and I did that in the wrong color. Oh well. I think the project I'm going to do next is a little bit of sewing, which reminds me I need to put another thing on the list. My husband has a pair of pants that he needs mended. That's been sitting for not too long. It's only been like maybe 3 or 4 months that I just need to get out my sewing machine to do the things. So I will add that to the list as well. Thanks for watching.